There is probably a big gap between where you want to be and where you're at now. And this is probably because wholesaling to you and wholesaling in your business is hard. It's difficult. It's not easy. It doesn't come natural. And what we want to do today is really share with you exactly the four things me and Rick have done in our wholesaling real estate business that have made wholesaling easy, really simple, a way where we can basically just print money wholesaling houses every single day. And what we want to do is share with you exactly these four concepts, these four things that we implement that has gotten us massively rich and put wholesaling on easy mode for success here. Wholesaling real estate is 100% a business that you can dial in. Because once you get those skills and once you get the concepts down, it's like being a really good basketball player. Like you're just going to put up 25 points, 30. Like it's not a question if you can't, right? And a lot of guys are struggling just to get 1 point on the board or 2 points. And so we're going to share with you exactly step by step today how you can actually go from no money to massively rich and successful wholesaling real estate. So if you're excited, ready to go, let's break this all down and let's really get into these four things that you need to know about today, because these are things that we kind of got started doing and we didn't really know these until we had to learn the hard way. Of how these things were, right?
Yeah. It just learn from us guys. Like and keep in mind, we do wholesaling every day. I'm not like preaching from a platform. I'm telling you what we're doing in our business today. And it is very wise to look at people's history, mistakes, and take advantage of it. And if you want to cut your loan, this is the live stream for you.
Oh yeah. So let's get it going. Let's get excited.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first thing I think we got to talk about, because we get all these crazy things in your head. You get all these crazy things ever, right? But it's simplicity scales and complexity fails. This is a Bill Gates quote, and it is one of the most truest quotes when I talk to wholesalers getting started. They have thoughts. They want to get their opinions from me, right? And the real thing is, how do I become successful, Zach? What should I do? And everybody thinks that it's these crazy, insane like theories and systems. And I have the CRM that's going to send a letter every 14.5.67 days on an algorithm. And I have to buy this $4,000 software. And that's how I'm going to become a success. It's never that. It never is. When you start adding complexity to things, the systems get crazy. I always look at it like a car engine, right? If you look at a nice Toyota, right? They're simple engines, but they're really reliable and they work well. Once you start getting into like some crazy BMWs and Mercedes, from experience with us, right? When you get the crazy car engines with all these cylinders and you start adding crazy things in it, they start breaking down pretty quick. And when you start making everything so complex, it's expensive, first and foremost, and not as reliable. A Lambo is sexier, got a lot more gizmos, but it is not as reliable as a Toyota, right?
Yeah, I mean, the upkeep and maintenance on those like higher end cars, keep in mind, they do the same thing as your Honda Civic. It's more stylish. And the problem is, if you look at the way we do wholesaling and the way a lot of other people teach it, is if you get too fancy, just understanding you're all going to the same path, the same journey. So the keep it simple, stupid method works the best, because what you're going to learn as a wholesaler, it comes down to your daily routines that you consistently take action in your marketing and your acquisitions. The more complex you make your system, the more you're going to get distracted. The more you get distracted, the less marketing, the less sales activities you're going to do. And you're going to wind up with less money out of your pocket, more confused, and you're just going to wind back up to a simple plan that me and Zach have executed over at freewholesaling.com. The simpler you make anything, the easier it is to do. Honestly, my rule in life, being at my age, if I don't understand it, I don't want to do it. Because the only times I ever got in trouble in business and in life is when I took people's theories and I didn't understand it, or I didn't understand how to operate it. And I spent so much time being confused, questioning my confidence and being distracted. Guys, daily discipline. The simpler you make it, the easier it is for you to employ it. If you get fancy, remember a Lamborghini goes the exact same distance as a Honda Civic. The question is, I always say, do you want to look rich or do you actually want to become rich? People who become rich simplify their lives. People who want to look rich make it so complex and try to speak above everybody to feed their ego. You have to make a choice here.
You have to. And this comes into your systems, what you do, how you do, and all these things. And in wholesaling, especially as a beginner, when you want to start getting up the ladder, you start trying to add things that just are really unnecessary and terrible. I've once been asked by someone, Zach, I need to hire a transaction coordinator. I said, you've done 0 deals, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, well, this guy said I have to get one. And I'm like, and it's the guru quote, right? It's, that's always the thing, right? It's always the guru quote. And the guru quote is, do you really want to be a legit wholesaler, right? Do you really want to be an actual, like, real player in this game?
Mm-hmm.
You need to pay a bunch of money. And then you have to add these crazy things. And that is not what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's just being simple.
I'm telling you, simplicity rules. It's just not me and Zach's philosophy. Go look at some of the most successful people in life. They take massive, consistent action, and they have a discipline. Why? Because they easily understand what they need to do on a daily basis. Once you start taking directions from someone like that, and there's a lot of shiny objects, you're going to get confused. You're going to get overwhelmed. And I'm just telling you, you're going to the same place in wholesaling. Do you want a fancy vehicle to get there that's going to have a lot of cost, a lot of confusion, or do you want just your basic Honda Civic? Let's hop in it 2-door, get me there. Because when you get there, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also going to tell you, you run the risk of going backwards because then you get money, you get a little bit more time. And honestly, as I say in fishing, if you're catching fish in a certain spot, don't leave it to try to go catch other fish. So once you're there, you're going to be more tempted. Me and Zach will walk you through it. But the simpler you make anything, the more effective it is. If I just give you a simple 1, 2, 3 step and go focus on, well, do I need this? No, 1, 2, 3. Once you start getting 15, 20 steps, you're going to step all over yourself. And worst is you're going to do nothing. And it's going to cost you a ton of money and you're going to get frustrated. I don't want you to quit. Simplify. The biggest secret I've learned in almost 22 years of wholesaling, the simpler you make it, the better the results. The more complicated it is, means you got to get consultants, coaches, gurus. And honestly, you might want to check out their business before you start taking that kind of high level advice. Simplify it. If you're not there, it is a reminder and a warning. I need to keep this simple until I get somewhere. I get some cash in my account. Then even more important than you even keep it simpler after that. So many people get tempted in once they do like 10 or 20 deals. They get cute, and that's where you lose your money. So guys, simplicity.
Let's talk about that, right? Like talking about simplicity, right? What works for others will work for you. I am a big proponent on stealing. And I'm not saying stealing as in a bad thing, but what did Pablo Picasso say, right? He said, great artists copy, but he said, good artists copy, but great artists steal. And I hate to tell you, I've made a lot of money stealing, and not like criminal stuff, but I'm talking like a guy in our market posting and bragging about how he's making money off of this special place in Fort Pierce, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm just going to steal his area. He's doing deals.
Yeah.
And it's really simple of a concept, but this is a concept that's blown up our business. But if you find people who are doing well, just do what they're doing in the same market, and you will copy results. For example, I tell you, I make a lot of money doing the probate list. If you do the probate list in my market, you will make money even if I'm marketing to it. I don't have 100% market share in my market. I wish I did, but we have a pretty dang good one. But we just kind of copy what works for the best, and then we can get rid of the ones that don't work.
Yeah,
it's like any business, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft, Apple, they copied from Xerox, and they just added on to it.
We reverse engineer wholesalers' cash buyer list. The reason I tell you to is like, why should I go spend all my money, all my effort when someone's just going to give me the map right there? If you're dumb enough to put your map out on the internet and say, hey, here, get on my cash buyers list. They don't vet them. They tell you exactly what they're selling them for, the address and the zip code. Guys, it's fair game. Call it stealing. It's just a phrase and a word. But like, why kill yourself? The problem in wholesaling is this thing called the ego. And people want to feel special. They want to feel significant, and they want to feel valued. And this is how they do it. Take advantage of it. If you can cash in on other wholesalers' ego and you put yours in check, you will catapult this strategy. And I'm telling you, I could send you to a lot of complicated websites and do all this analysis, take months, or just go find a wholesaler that's advertising a cash buyers list in your area, a market you're interested in, and it's not going to cost you a dime. And you know what? They're spending their ego money. Why? They want instant gratification. I'm worthy. I'm significant. Take that. Shut your mouth. Don't go put your stuff out on the internet. You don't believe me? Go on the internet. On a daily basis, videos are shot solely to feed the ego. It's not going to get them any more deals. It's not going to get them any more leverage on the market. It only feeds their ego. I can easily identify any type of marketing piece, especially any type of video, where they're just feeding their ego. There is no purpose other than you feeling good at the moment. Take advantage of this. It is rampant in wholesaling. As you notice, me and Zach don't go down that alley because we don't. Listen, collaboration is like everyone's, oh, you need to collaborate. Those that do it best don't go out in the world and tell everybody how to do it. That is a coach guru thing because all they do is copy each other. There is no creativity. You guys all know that. So understand your wholesaling business, simplify it, do the stuff that works, keep it going. And if you find something that works really well, push it as hard as you can before you decide to release the secret. There are no secrets in wholesaling. I promise you. If you found a secret, someone's already been doing it. You just put more energy and effort than the person next to you.
That's it. I mean, look what I did with Rick, right? I kind of copied all of his stuff that worked when we started the business, right? Yeah. And then I started adding my own thing with it. So I started taking things that his working, started things that I'm working for us, and exploded both of it, right? I think the most famous example of it is just like taking your direct mail list and just texting it.
Yeah.
And I just, that's something you never did though.
Yeah.
But I copied it and then added something with it and it just exploded it.
So guys, to take advice from a 16 or 17-year-old, number one, as a father, and number two, as a successful wholesaler, you have to remove your ego. Otherwise, because your ego has this thing is where you automatically put in ear blocks, earmuffs, whatever you want. Once you activate your ego, you can't learn, you can't absorb, you can't take any type of feedback. And you can't, most important, you cannot learn. Once you activate the ego, it is all about you. There is no team and I. It is about you for instant gratification. So number one, become aware of it. Guys, everybody around you, the ego is so monstrous. Take advantage of it and bury yours.
Exactly. So the one thing I would tell you is just choose what's working and just keep doing that. And so that is the main goal here. And another simplicity part of how anyone scales in wholesaling is, okay, you have these 4 lists. These 3 are working well. Keep doing that. Mm-hmm. These lists suck. Don't do that. So just keep doing things that are working and then don't do things that aren't working. And you're going to get another question is like, how do I know if it's working or not? Well, you look at something called KPIs or key performance indicators. And what I tell people to look at is, okay, how many calls you make, how many leads you got. Pretty simple. I made 2,000 calls on code violations and I got 10 leads, 5 like legit like offers I gave to them and 1 deal. I said, great. Now we got to know, we got to do about 2,000 or 3,000 of those calls to get a deal. Simple. I made 7,000 calls on the high equity list, got nothing. I'm like, okay, let's maybe not do that. It's just, guys, I tell people, right? I tell people all the time, I'm very agnostic. Right? I don't care about a list. I really don't. Like somebody presents me a new list or opportunity. I don't care. Like I have no leaning either way of it. I let the results speak. I let the actual statistics speak. So for example, PPC, test it out. I see other people doing it. I see the pitfalls. I make no opinion until it doesn't work. And then I make my decision. Facebook ads. This thing could be the greatest thing ever. I say, you know what? Try it out. Why not? And boom. Like you make money, but it's not that good. So it's like, okay, fine. This new texting thing, let's try it out. RVM, like every single marketing strategy, like I don't care about it. It's going to yield me results or it doesn't. That is it. And there's always new things popping out. Novations is one of them, right? And I was like, okay, well, this could be the next greatest thing. A lot of pitfalls to that thing. And we're not getting the whole thing of why novations suck today, but they suck and they are terrible. Don't do them.
It's not wholesaling. It's a completely different strategy. Guys, the bottom line is you have to look and see what works. How do you do it? You look at your KPIs, you look at data. What you don't want to do is make an emotional decision or go, I feel is the worst statement you can make in business and definitely wholesaling, because now you're taking your biased personal opinion. The one thing about data, if you collect data and you don't unfilter it, it's going to tell you the truth. If you're willing to accept the truth, you can figure out what works and what doesn't work, and then just make slight pivots and move forward. But when you do stuff on feel, which is how most people do business, you're going to get killed. And feeling is 100% highly influenced by your ego. So understand, look at your KPIs, your data, and sometimes it's bad. And you look at it and go, okay, I've either missed the boat or I'm doing something wrong. And then you make decisions based on that. Remove your emotions, because wholesaling does not care how you feel.
Nope.
And the more you feel, the more you're going to have a problem in wholesaling. So when it comes to business decisions, get the data, get the KPIs, and then you can, and it's usually just slight pivots. If you are constantly changing 90, 180 degrees, you probably don't have a sound business plan to start out with. So you got to start over. Once you have it, then everybody has to adjust. One certainty in life and in wholesaling is there will constantly be change, and you have to have the ability to adapt to survive in any type of business setting.
I agree. I just get the ego out of it, right? And so the next part is, right, think about lists. I just, simplicity, right? If less people can get to a list of a motivated seller, it's probably a better list. For example, outside, I said this on the Discord call last week, but I said, why do government lists, everyone said government lists are too saturated. I said, no, they are not. But you know why? You go to any wholesaling guru, okay? All right? All the short kings. Mm-hmm. You go to them and you basically, you go to any of them, and basically government lists are not a real thing. It's so funny. It's like P. Diddy, right? Everyone who's involved in P. Diddy just acts like it's not a real thing. I wasn't there. It's not real. And if I just pretend it's not real, it's not there, right? You know, all these celebrities coming out like, I don't even know who P. Diddy is. What? Yeah. And these gurus legit act like probate's not even a real thing. They act like a code violation isn't a real list because they're trying to sell the software. They can't sell a course on a free list, right? And everyone except for you and me, we're the only ones that talk about these lists. It's crazy. The only government list they talk about is pre-foreclosure because you can buy a software for that list. It's the only list they acknowledge as a real list. It's hilarious.
Why promote a free list?
Why promote a free list?
Yeah.
And so everyone thinks these lists are saturated, but they're not, because we are the only people who actually acknowledge the existence. And I feel like a conspiracy theorist saying it, but here's the cool part about it. I'm a conspiracy theorist until the theory proves right. And time again, all the people that get their first deal, all these success, all from government lists, because people come to us because they have no money. They can't pay the guy $3, $4, $5 grand. And you find out that, yeah, my weird conspiracy theory of government lists are actually true. Wow. That the code enforcement department who drives around, finds people for having ugly houses, those lists are actually pretty dang good.
Phenomenal.
Crazy, right?
It's simple. That's why we go over it over and over. It's not that I enjoy sitting here talking about government lists all day, because I've been doing this almost 22 years. But you guys, everything I do is about simplistic and getting your deals. And the more complicated I make this, which in the past I used to do, the more confused you get. You just Think about a kid if you're like he's swinging a bat for the first time. What's the first thing you're going to tell him? You have to keep your eyes on the ball. That's it. I don't care how many times you miss. Just look at the ball. And then once they accomplish that, you do step 2, and then you do step 3. And before you know it, you're hitting balls, you're taking deals down. But man, some of you guys want like a 52-step program. And I'm telling you, man, like get your list, market, and talk to people. Communicate with them. Don't be scared of it. If you can accomplish those 3 things, this business isn't that overwhelming. But most people want to do all the other stuff because I gotta be busy. Busy means broke. Busy doesn't, I give no respect to busy. There's no such thing as busy. Busy is something you create on your own to just make yourself feel better. Once again, we're going back to self-filling yourself with your ego. So simplify it, guys. Come up with honestly, I think you could do, we're talking about 4 steps today. And like, that's what we accomplish. If you have more than like 8, 9 steps, I promise you're never going to follow through on it. It's impossible. It's hard enough as is to do 1 through 4, let alone, 9 through 12.
That's it. And, I say it right. You just have to, it's just insane to me. That's why I try to make jokes about it. But like, it's insane to me. Nobody outside of us talks about these lists. There are thousands of them every single month being produced, and you can just get them for free. It's insane to me that, and everyone thinks it's just, I know outside of us, it's not saturated. And, I don't know that PD was a good comment, but it's true. Everyone pretends it's not real. No, if I don't think about it, it's not real.
You got to mark your safe from a PD party now.
But yeah, I make the jokes, but it is true. Short kings. Like me and Rick are probably the only person on YouTube that can actually touch rim on a on a basketball hoop. Either they're too short, they're too big to touch it. Just being honest. Oh, I practice dunking.
Sometimes the egos are too big. That's the bigger problem.
It's not my ego saying it.
Height. It's just
no guru can touch the rim. It's crazy, except for me and you. It's crazy. Just saying. Maybe we should start doing that. Post your HUDs and just post a video of you touching the rim. I posted it before because I'm still training on dunking. I'm still working on it. But
yeah, my dunk days are over. But feel free to put your bench press in the column.
Put the bench press. Well, the problem is when you're like 5'2", the bench press is easier. Got the long arms. It sucks.
You don't have to talk from a guy with shoulders.
It's not easy. But all right, let's not get into it. But basically, what I'm trying to explain, though, is the less people that can get to a list, the more better it is. And so let's talk about simple concepts here for wholesaling. If anyone and their mom can go to X Leads, just get the $49 a month thing and start pulling a high equity list, yeah, I want everyone to be in X Leads, and we got a lot of people in it, but like, if anyone can get the list, it's probably not the greatest one. Okay. And I'd use probates, for example, but you can actually pull the probates in X Leads now. Let's use code violations, right? You can't get it up from any software, right?
Correct.
It's a pretty dang good list. So just FYI. All right. Now the next part here, which I hammer and hammer and hammer home to people. The more inputs you put, the more outputs you get. And this is a simple concept that has made me more money than anything. And has made you guys more money than anything. Zach, man, I'm not getting any deals, dude. I'm not getting any deals, man. Okay, well, what are your inputs? What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, let's think about it. How much inputs did you put in the marketing? Oh, I made 7 calls last week. But that's why it's your output, man, right? It's the funniest thing ever, but it's true.
Yeah, it's guys, as I said, it's most of the time when you start out wholesaling, here's the number one problem. You don't have the experience, and there's no coach, there's no guru that's going to give you overnight experience. You're going to have to earn it no matter what you pay or if you get it for free. So understanding that, the 2 biggest influences is your commitment to wholesaling, which it has to be completely unwavering. Otherwise, you're not going to follow through on anything. Let's face it. If you're going to try wholesaling, don't even start it. I can't, dude, the word try is like, you might as well say, I'm just going to be super busy and try wholesaling. Don't do it. You've already failed. You've got to understand, number 2, you have to have a massive amount of opportunities to, number 1, make up for your experience and for you to increase your probabilities of getting a first deal. Here's the good news is It is a direct correlation on how many inputs you have, how many leads you have in wholesaling, on how soon you're going to get your first deal. People that only talk to 10 people have an extremely low probability of really even making it work for the next year.
That's it.
The guy who crunches away on 200 and 300 leads in a week, a day, whatever it is, I can just about guarantee you they're going to make it. Eventually, you're going to get just dumb, blind luck. But the dumb, blind luck was based on the inputs. Every now and then, people just roll over and sell you a house. It doesn't happen often. If you do hundreds and thousands, you will get it. When you get it, your confidence goes up. You connect. Your nervous system goes, crap, this works. It did it for me. It did it for him. A lot of you guys walking on here. And then when you do that, you even feel more energized and you get it going. But if you do 20, 30 calls and you go, if you go, I'm just going to quit because the rejection rate's so high, number one, you never had unwavering commitment. So it is no coincidence that people that get successful and get close to their first deal, they have the highest amount of input. Input will overcome your inexperience. But by the way, if you think you're super experienced, you don't need a lot of input, you're going to fail too. So remember, like you cannot have enough leads in the beginning. You go, Rick, is 1,000 enough? I go, we're going to find out. Is 10,000 enough? I don't know. We're going to find out. Is 100,000? I don't know.
All I know is the more inputs you put,
that's it. That's all we know.
The better chance you get.
Like I could sell an entire course on that because it's the number one fact. I don't think anybody would disagree with this. But how you go about it, how you drive yourself nuts, that's open to debate. But you have to simplify this. Because listen, even if you called on like thousands of, say you decided to do MLS, and I don't recommend this as a starter strategy, but if you committed to calling 300 people a day on MLS, which I'm just using a terrible example, the consistency and the discipline you create by doing that and the exposure you get will excel you along. There's easier ways to do it, in my opinion, as we teach over at freewholesaling.com. But the person, I don't care if you're calling FSBOs, you call MLS, you're calling hopefully government list, and you're looking at the ones with the highest motivation, the people that need to sell their house, you'll do the best. The problem is some people do input those numbers, but you're only talking to people that want to sell their house. And it's like you're just a glorified real estate agent. We don't teach you how to be a real estate agent, a wholesaler. But give me someone who will do that same practice. And I go, listen, just take that energy and just put it over these lists. They're like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Because the more people that you can practice on, so to speak, the better you're going to do. But we want you to make money while you're going along with it. So that's why we're always going to push the government list, because they work. I don't sell anything on a government list. I know it's an oxymoron for someone like me and Zach, get on here and not sell something, but I'm just telling you, if you have success, we do better. We do more deals together. You guys become raving fans and you love it. So I have to give you the best information up front. That is the service of doing what we do for free. I am not owned by any company. Me and Zach are our own man, and our goal is to get you successful. We've been doing it over 4 years. Obviously, it works. So do not reinvent the wheel. Simplify it. These 4 things.
Exactly. So that's number one, being simple. Simplicity scales, complexity fails. Number 2, marketing is king. So king, priority, do whatever you want to call it. But there are people out here that say, and you hear from other wholesalers that say, acquisitions is king. You have to be the king acquisitions man. And that is not how you become the best wholesaler. No. Whoever is telling you that does not know what they're doing. Okay. Whoever tells you that probably just pays for leads. They do a pay-per-lead service to make you feel like they're the best. And it's a stopgap because they're not doing it themselves, because pay-per-lead is probably one of the worst things ever. But we'll get into that.
Well, they might have started out with the basics, but like when people get money and time, like they pay for leads, and it just seems so much easier. I'm just telling you guys, some of those leads, like people doing paper, they're thousands of dollars. Now,
it's crazy.
Maybe they put in the journey in wholesaling, but I'm here to tell you, that's not how a typical beginner wholesaler begins. And a lot of you get like fooled on like, people who call real estate agents and people who call on like pay per leads. Those are all pre-set up, pre-vetted and set up. And so like, I go, man, that call went so smooth. That's crazy. When you take someone like Zach the other day, just got on there and go like, I'm just going to randomly call people until I get a deal, and I'm not getting off the phone until I do it. Like that is the actual struggle of a wholesaler.
Oh yeah.
And we all like, listen, Facebook, fake book, like everybody likes to put up everybody wants to look good. Once again, guys, everything points to, I got to feed my ego so I feel important now and above it. Zach, when he did that thing the other day, he could have outright failed. We have no idea what the outcome was going to be.
Failure's not an option.
But
I
might have gone
Uber Eats
9
ready.
house, but like he was
I
ready
had
to do
Uber
it.
Eats ready. I was ready to go.
It was crazy.
I was getting some pizza, wings, whatever it was.
But that's the kind of
Oh, yeah.
commitment you have to do, and you understand how simple it is. He goes,
And YouTube
I'm not.
Yeah. YouTube took that video down.
Yeah, because it's too valuable.
Oh.
We can't tell. Like sometimes
it's on free wholesale. It's going to be on freewholesaling.com tonight. But yeah,
but you know, this is the truth of wholesaling. It's like most of it, like all these like people where they close people in there. And I love when people go publicly, but like, show me the behind the scenes. How did you come up with like that? And how random is this? You will never see that part. It is always filtered. Listen, nobody likes to fail on the internet, man. It sucks.
No.
He's willing to do it. I do it all the time. It is what it is, because if you can't see the good and bad in people and you only see good, you got to start going, man, like what am I being pumped full of here? And it's like, not everything can be perfect in life. Yet, honestly, the more you fail, the more money you will make. And I think a lot of you guys look at wholesaling and go, all these guys, like, it's always perfect phone calls and they close them. And it's like, guys, get like a spin wheel and go, hey, can you pick New Mexico and call 100 people? I want to hear how it goes. And can you do it on Zillow and like this? It's like, you will never hear that. He'll do it. I'll do it. I'm not nearly as good, but like, I just have fun when I call people. He's more down the business with it because he's much more polished because he came from a cold calling background. So remember, guys, simple. Sit down and go, listen, I'm calling 200 people till I get a deal. And if it's not 200, then I'm going to make it like 500 after that. And I'm going to tell my mom to just slip me a dinner under the door.
That's why I hate like working out. Because it's not like you can just work out 6 hours and you get 6x the benefit.
No.
That's why I hate working out, because it's like you have to do it every day consistent, which is fine. That's good. Like, wouldn't it be nice, like cold calling, you just bang it out 15 hours of working out and you get 15 times, like,
that'd
right?
Be awesome.
That'd be great. It don't work like that, right? But just for everyone who doesn't know, basically on Tuesday, YouTube took this down. Thanks, YouTube. I think it's still on the Zacking YouTube channel, and I think it's still on Facebook. It's going to be posted on. I think I'm going to re-upload that video probably tomorrow. But basically, what I did, I hate uploading because I wish it was live. But basically, I clicked the live stream button. I said, everyone, this is my declaration. I'm not giving off this live stream until I find a deal. I have no money. I left my wallet, in the other room. I have no money. I have a phone. I have an internet connection.
They didn't know who you were.
And I said, I'm going to find a real estate wholesaling deal.
Yeah. And
that's what I did. And an hour in, it was not looking good. I had 3 or 4 people who were kind of interested in it, but like they weren't. Called me back. I was like, Lord. And I got Uber Eats ready. I was going to do an 8-hour live stream. I'm ready. And then an hour and a half in, found a guy, 3 turnkey rentals. And oh, by the way, just so everyone knew it wasn't a fake pay-per-lead scam, I had a spinner wheel. I went to spinnerwheel.com. Okay. I went to spinnerwheel.com. We had every state in the United States.
Yeah.
I clicked it live. I also had a clock in the corner live from the computer. I spinner wheel. I didn't know where I was going to land. Spinner wheel. Okay. And guess what happened? Chose Pennsylvania, which if it was New Mexico, I would have been screwed. But chose Pennsylvania. Found a tired landlord. He had 2 rentals. He wanted to get rid of them. They were cash flowing turnkey. And I got like 35 grand off of what he wanted for. And I got it done. Price commitment, good to go. He's ready. I was like, oh, thank goodness. And everyone was crying to me about it because I said, well, I'll give you a $5,000 deposit. I was like, I need to get out of here. And, well, I can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can. Because I thought about this, right? We had a Flipper Plus member who had a wholesaling deal. And she couldn't get the deal done because the guy requested a $10,000 deposit.
Yeah.
That was a good deal. Well, did she, by the way, because women out here are just crushing wholesaling.
They're better at it.
They are. But like, did she just say, oh, okay, I just give up? Oh, no. She found us. We put $10,000 deposit down and
Guys,
got the deal done.
It's not really
It's
your
not an
money.
excuse.
Like, listen, if somebody offered you a Rolex for $500 and you knew it was worth, say, just $5,000, and they go, but here's the catch: you got to come up with a $500 deposit. And you don't have it. Are you walking away? No, go find someone to help you fund it, partner with you, like whatever you got to do. Go ask mom, dad, whatever. Like, this is the part of wholesaling is about resourceful. If you went through grade school and college, I got to go to a bank. I got to fill out an application. Like, no. Just be resourceful. Like, remember, the deposit is not what you're paying for it. It is just an obstacle you have to get over. So sometimes you fund it yourself. Sometimes you do that. Honestly, the bigger the reward, the more willing you should be going up in the deposit. If someone gave you something 30 cents on the dollar, and they asked for a $50,000 deposit, the money's going to escrow. You're safe as long as you follow the terms of the contract. Just go find someone to either partner up or fund it. Don't walk away from the deal because you don't know how to do it. And by the way, that funding, go, listen, I'll agree that, but I have 7 or 10 days to fund the escrow deposit. It'd be written right there in the contract. So you could execute a contract and you got a week to go find the money. Hell, reach out to me. I'll do it.
Exactly. So that was a really cool challenge. I got it done. It's on the Zach and YouTube channel. And guys, should I re-upload on the Footwork channel tomorrow? Let me know. But I'll probably just re-upload it tomorrow because I think it was so powerful.
That was great.
And we are having our team edit it so the algorithm doesn't. But when I repost it, just make sure everyone verified in the comments that it was live. Just so you guys know. But the reason why I'm talking about that live stream, right, is because let's talk about that, right? I sat down, I went live, I said, I'm not getting out unless I have a deal, no money at all. What is priority in that situation? Being the best closer, or getting in front of 100 sellers that are motivated, right? Oh. In my case, it wasn't being the best closer in the world, even though I probably am one of the best closers. I'm not saying I'm the best. I think whoever says they're the best of something has to back it up. And if you're the best fighter in the world, you have to fight all the fighters before you can say it. That's all I'm saying. I've never claimed to be the best closer, marketer ever.
Because it won't make you the most amount of money.
It doesn't matter, right? One thing I will tell you though is I'm never the best closer. I'm one of the top. I will say I'm one of the top. But when it comes to marketing, it's very hard to find people who are better at marketing than me and Rick. I'm not saying I'm the top one, but I'm telling you, in that live stream, guess where I put my priority? Not on closing, but on finding sellers. Because if I just got in front of enough people in a desperate situation, I would find a guy like Bob on Tuesday who just wanted to get rid of it for cash. Simple.
Guys, the key is to get as many opportunities as possible. If you're just listen, closing it gets better over time, but like, trust me, if you're like this super slick closer, there's a point of diminishing returns. Give me someone that will sit there and bust through hundreds of leads in a day, and then give me a super closer. I'll take the person bust through the leads all day. Because remember, wholesaling is not about selling. The word closing implies that you have a sales strategy and a process. Most of the time we are guides. And if I talk to 100 people, you guys all know deep down, maybe 5 or 7 are the ones we want to wind up on. So do you think my closing has an incredible impact on those 95 people I'm kicking to the curb? Because the incredible closer is going to be, hell, I just say it, like you're LeBron. Like, I'm too good to do that. I'm not doing it. Just you set me up and bring me in the final 2 minutes. Well, what about the other 58 minutes of the game? Here's the problem, guys. You guys got to do the 58 minutes. And so many of you guys are training to do the final, like Michael Jordan shot. The real key to people that are successful in cold calling, in my opinion, are the ones who consistently discipline themselves and will rip through phone calls. The lazy ones use a setup phone call. They record it. They look like champs. You never know if they actually
grandma on the other line.
I got and calling a real estate agent, guys, I don't even understand what that has to do with wholesaling. Like, you're always going to have a civilized conversation with a real estate agent. You're not getting anywhere. You have to get to the seller to actually get leverage on it. Remember, guys, you've got to do the work. Being the best closer is not going to make you super effective in wholesaling. So I'm always working on a dozen deals. And then one or two of them always move forward. Is it because I'm an amazing closer? No. I'm consistent, I'm deliberate, and I follow up and I guide them down a path. Do you really, if I had this magical script that would close everyone, I would give it to you. It doesn't exist. It is a fake thing used mostly to sell you guys on it. The person who's most consistent that just has a routine every day will dominate any closer. And here's a cool part. As you do more and more deals, you'll become better at closing. But like, there's not like an opinion. Like, I am not the master closer. I never ever claimed to be. You know why? Because I think closing's way overrated in wholesaling. Give me someone that will do the work every day. Give me someone with like a blue collar work ethic, and you will destroy a closer, hands down. So Zach showed you the other day how he does it, how it's done. And you know why you don't see on the internet? Number one, it scares the crap out of people because people want to know the outcome of everything. You've got to be willing to go into wholesaling knowing you don't know the outcome because it's the truth. Let's just be brutally honest. But you have direct control of everything that happens. If you're willing to do that and you're willing to fail and you understand that I have to fight the 58 minutes, the 2 minutes that showed on the internet is not really how this business works. Zach would love to have a lead queued up for him, ready to go, paid $1,000 for the lead. And now we're just getting down to that final like 3 to 5%. Guys, that's not closing. That's just that's just like going through the process. You have to go into the fight and call people. You don't even know if they're willing to sell their house. That takes guts. And this is how the business really is. And so you guys get this other story on the internet. And then when you get down to it, we're showing you how it actually works. It's just the truth. Some days are better than others, but you got to be willing to do the whole 9 yards. But it's simple. But you want to buy a program on how to become a better closer and a sales process, just do the work, guys. Get through it. And as you get through the experience, you'll become better and more confident because I do not have a magical closing line that closes everybody. That works in a car dealership. It does not work in wholesaling. We have to find the people that need to sell, that have a problem, direct to the seller. And once they see you can actually solve their problem with your solution, if they trust you and they like you, they will move forward with you. It's not like, hey, if I buy your house, I'll give you a Mercedes and we're going to close. Like, no, there's no magical. If I thought there was a magical phrase, I would have given it. I haven't found it in over 21 years. The magic is in you, the person, and then believing in you and building rapport with them, and then just helping them guide them down the path. So,
I agree. And so, the way I look at it is to first, I can bring somebody to 80% to be 80% as good as me at closing within a year. Mm-hmm. I always say this, right? I can get anyone off the street. I can make them 80% as good as me at closing if I gave them a year. Could I make them 80% of my income in a year off the street? Probably not, right? And so some skill sets are less valuable than others, right? If a skill set only takes a year to really get, it's not as valuable. It's why doctors get paid well, right? Mm-hmm. I can't make somebody as good of a marketer as me up to 80%, right? And I always look at like Michael Jordan and LeBron, right? Do you know who has more career points? LeBron or Michael Jordan? They have the same field goal percentage. How do you think, who do you think scored more points? LeBron. Because he took more shots and he's played more games. Yeah, why do you think Tom Brady has the most NFL, I think, passing yards? Is it because he had more passing yards per year than anyone else? No. He just played more seasons.
He did.
And so how do you make more money wholesaling? You don't have to be the best closing rate. You just got to take more shots. That's it. So the guy that takes 100 shots in a game, statistically, is probably going to make more money than the guy who makes 50% of his shots, but he's the best closing shooter in the world. Unfortunately, it's just sheer volume. And the best way to describe this is because he's got his UFC shirt on. Who's the best pound for pound fighter in history in UFC, in your opinion?
You really going to go down this road now?
Just name one.
Pound for pound?
Just name one.
Pound for pound, if you're going to go off most shots.
No, just actually, who's the scariest guy? The worst person in their prime. You don't want him in the ring. Not even pound for pound. Just
see, I overanalyze.
Okay, who's the scariest one? You put him in the ring. You do. They would mess you up.
Right, Giuseppe by far.
Who? No, right. Like in history.
In history, dude, they go so far back.
Just say one.
I don't know. You could go back to the days of the Iceman. Like at his prime, he
Okay.
was unbelievable.
That's fine. I would probably
He was
say
the scariest guy at the time.
I would
because
say-
he was fighting a different style
okay.
back then.
Okay. I would say John Jones. That's just my opinion. I think
I don't think anymore.
I'm talking about in his prime, the best ever. Now, let's look at John Jones. If you put me against John Jones, I would probably be knocked out in 2 seconds. Now, the question is, how many Zacks do you need in the ring for me to beat up John Jones? I would probably say me about 15 of me, and I could probably beat up John Jones, right? It's just sheer numbers.
Some of you are going to take a licking for it.
No, but like it's sheer numbers. If you have 15 people on John Jones, he ain't going to win. And so volume will beat like just one good thing, right? So one good close, John Jones could probably beat 5 of me easy. If 5 of me going John Jones, ain't gonna last.
Yeah.
But 15, right? Same with Mike Tyson. How many of you do I have to put in a boxing ring to beat prime Mike Tyson? Probably about 15, right? He's probably gonna kill 10 of you, but you got 5 extra, right?
Did you hear the quote he used to use? He goes, they go, "You ever scared when you go in the ring?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm scared for what I'm going to do to my opponent." He goes, "I'm really worried about his family because they're not going to recognize him when I'm done with him." I'm like, he said that right before he walked in a ring. I'm like, and he was dead serious about it.
But the point here is, if you have just enough volume, you are going to overtake anything. So if this next guy over is a better closer, you just got to get more offers and talk to more sellers, and you will win by just sheer volume. Okay. Now, if I was a trained like John Jones and let's do Iceman in his prime, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Jones could probably beat him, in my opinion. But if you have if you get 2 Icemans, oh, it's over, right?
Yeah.
2, and so their skill gap is like here and here, right? And so like you put 2 of them. So a guy who's a good closer, if you just get double the amount, you're going to obviously win. So marketing is the key here.
So guys, do you see the simplicity in it? Is like if we focus on closing it. I'm not saying it's not important, but like it is not the highest skill set. It is a byproduct of volume and opportunity. And if you spend all your energy on a sales process and like how to be the best closer, here's how I envision a closer. You ever go to a seminar? The guy's in the back of the room. His job's to close everybody. Like how many, like, is that what you want to learn? Because I don't know where that relates in wholesaling. You are not taking your sellers. Let me take you out to the front of the house, and whoever takes action now, I'll give you this bonus. You'll get it done. That's what I consider closing, sale process, sales training. Do you understand how it does not correlate with meeting with homeowners?
I agree. And so just getting eyeballs on your message, that's marketing. That is what your priority. If you have enough people knowing your message that you're looking to buy houses in the area for cash, calling, texting, mail, whatever it is, you will win. When you're not doing that, you are not making money. Just understand that. And that's actually not the real priority in wholesaling is offers. But you cannot get an offer without people knowing about you. That is it. And so just understand that. Number 3, people are the answer. And what I mean by that is whatever problems you have right now in wholesaling, people are the answer. So name a problem. Hey, I don't know I don't have boots on the ground. People are the answer. There's somebody in your market that'll probably split the deal with you. That'll be a great boots on the ground as buyers, right? Mm-hmm. You're struggling to go out here and learn how to find cash buyers. Go to freewholesaling.com. Me and Rick are people, and we have the answer for you, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't have a course to sell you on that, right? It's free. Freewholesaling.com is free, right?
Shocking.
But all of your problems, people are the answer. Heck, you're looking to scale. VAs, employees, people are the answer to all of your problems. You just have to know the right person and they can change your life. If I was not born and I didn't know Rick, it'd be worse. I might not have a free wholesaling course, right? It's about knowing someone, right? And heck, what got you started, right? Knowing those TV infomercials, that person was your answer to getting in the real estate, right? You're always one person away. Nobody magically just is a baby and they're 10 years like, I want a wholesale house. No, it's people are the answer here.
Starts with an idea.
Starts with the idea. So education, freewholesaling.com. It's our free real estate wholesaling course. Teach you how to do it for free. You want a community of just other successful wholesalers and newer wholesalers, just a great community group chat. Zapdiscord.com. That Discord's insane.
Yeah.
right? It's crazy. It is off the hook. ZachDiscord.com, free community. You want to scale? Employees, that's how you do it. People are the answer to all of your problems, okay? That is it. You have no money, you got to get some deals. People are the answer. There's nothing, if you don't have the right network or connections, that it won't solve. And usually you have to pay for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have ZachDiscord.com for free. We have Wholesaling.com. We have our live stream comment sections on our channel, right? Everything you need to know, somebody has the answer to. That is it. That's all you need to know. And probably the most important one, save for last, is concept 4. But make a good plan and stick with it.
Sticking.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Roger that. Make a good plan and stick to it.
Sticky.
So not just make a good plan or not just sticking with something, because if you stick with something that sucks, it ain't going to do well. If you make a good plan and you don't execute on the plan, it ain't going to do well. And so it's the peanut butter and jelly here, right? Of having a plan that's actually going to lead to success and actually doing enough of that to get the deals. Simple. Everyone talks about consistency and they say all these like crazy schmancy things, right? But just make a plan that'll get you deals. Hey, I'm going to drive for dollars, 100 leads a week and call them. That's a great plan. But the hardest part about that is just sticking to it.
It's so easy to write a plan. Almost all business ventures fail at the execution. Like
inputs and outputs.
We have nothing. The world has more ideas than it has people can execute. Honestly, a lot of people in wholesaling, they just don't execute. That's the bottom line. And if you're constantly doing something different, it's like all over the place. Like Bruce Lee says, right? It's I don't fear the man that practices 10,000 different kicks. I fear the man that practices one kick 10,000 times. Same thing in wholesaling, man. Like that's how you become good. And then your ability, your confidence to close people will come with the experience. And here's a key. Your closing will become better the higher your volume is. That is an absolute fact. And it's not like that you have magical lines. You're just confident because you have experience and you know what works. And if you know what works, then you just feel better about it and you'll do it more consistently. And that's the only way you can do it is through the experience. Calling 20 and 30 people is not considered experience.
Yeah.
It's considered, okay, that was good for 10 o'clock today. What am I doing with the rest of the day?
I agree. So make a good plan and stick to it. It's inputs and outputs. That is it. And if you can get really good at that, you'll make a lot of money. That's how you make wholesaling easy, by just having that discipline to start getting leads and deals and success. So have a good plan. What makes a good plan? Well, if you go to Wholesaling.com, we kind of break it all down. Heck, it's in the 30-day wholesaling challenge. How many leads to get a deal? Go through that. Say, okay, Zach said I got to text about 4,000 pre-foreclosures to get a deal. No, probably 1,000 pre-foreclosures to get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, divide that by 30, boom. We got to do every day. It's just, then we go to concept 1. Don't make it complicated, right? And you're going to find that those 4 things are something that we kind of always bundle in together because that's the formula. That is the formula. And really cool, sticking to it even if you don't want to do it. Let me say that again. Sticking with it even if you don't want to.
That's the hard part,
That's
guys.
the hard part. Show up every single day.
That means you can't use the statement, I feel
tired today.
I feel tired today. I don't feel good. It's like, listen, there's some times where you're going to be stuck, like something severe, but like you can't just keep calling like a mulligan on like every day. At some point, you just have to suck it up and get through it. Listen, it's not always sunshines and rainbows out there. There's stormy days, there's hurricanes, there's tornadoes, there's hail, there's blizzards. Like life has to go on. If we constantly just prepare for that stuff and hunker down, you're not going to get anything done. Like we're in the state of Florida, like there's a hurricane like on the way, and like a lot of businesses shut down. Like, I mean, Kia said, like we're taking a day off for safety. I go, what? Like, you got to be like, there's no way in the heck that thing's hitting us. Let's just be safe. And the same day, like, I feel tired today. I
Who
go,
said
maybe
that?
our property manager.
For who?
They're off today.
Oh, okay.
They're off today for safety.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, even the bank's open today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying is you just have to do it. And a lot of days, here's the secret. A lot of days you're not going to feel like doing it. Just do it. Look at it like working out. Nobody overly enjoys going to the workout, but by the end, you feel better. Your endorphins kick in. It's the same thing. If you get through it and get progress in your business and get more experience, more opportunities, the better you feel. But you got to get through that short-term mental block. Like, this is going to be uncomfortable. It is. Just embrace it.
I agree. Do it every single day, and I'd say become successful wholesaling real estate. So let's kind of answer some questions you guys have, see how everyone's doing today. And we got a StreamYard link if you want to talk to us one-on-one. Let's get this here. Here is StreamYard. All righty. And boom, StreamYard link if you want to talk to us one-on-one for free. And let's get it going, guys. So FYI for everyone, we have our live stream tomorrow on this Discord. If you want to go to ZachDiscord.com, I'm live streaming at 8 p.m. So that's going to be pretty dang cool. And we'll be all set for you there. Also, last day for the event is going to be September 30th. September 30th is Monday. If you do not sign up, if you're not on Flipper Plus by the 30th, you cannot come to the event. I'm not trying to create scarcity. I'm not trying to it's not that. We are literally at capacity.
Yep.
We can't do anything more. So by the 30th, if you sign up for the second, you're not coming to the event. So you come to the Flipper Plus live event, Escape the Matrix in Orlando. You have till September 30th to sign up. If you're not, that's it. And some people, we have JVs that are set to close. So if you are at that point, I'll let you do it if we have an actual closing date set. So FY. So just FY, Flipper Plus, that's how you do it. But overall, let's answer your questions and see what we can do to help you guys out. So it's been a pretty exciting week. So just working hard, getting everything done. And version 2X leads, that thing's been crazy. But we're working on that. So let's answer some questions here and see what's going on. Bright Mind said, can you answer my question? How do you approach a seller going through a short sale? I mean, we have two different, I think we have the same opinions, but different.
Yeah, so,
I wouldn't though. But.
Yeah, listen, the rules on short sales have changed so much. If you don't have experience and you don't have the wherewithal, number one, short sales are difficult to wholesale because the bank's going to put a restriction on the deed, normally 90 days. So if you don't know how to navigate through that, if you don't request to get it removed, you won't be able to wholesale it. You'll have to close on it and then wait 90 days to sell it. This is the number one reason I really don't even mess with short sales anymore. Number two, you have no idea how to negotiate a short sale. Let me give you just the skinny Cliff Notes. If your seller does not have a qualifying event, a death in the family, a loss of job, something severe, they don't qualify for a short sale. They won't. Just because you owe more than it's worth does not mean you get to short sale the house. There has to be a triggering event that makes logical sense. Ask. If it doesn't, don't waste your time. And number two, if they do have a triggering event, are you willing to share your last 2 years of tax return and the last 6 months of every financial transaction you've done under your capacity? Most people do not want to share that information with their bank. And if you just go through that two-step qualification, you'll eliminate 90% of the people you'll deal with. And keep in mind, then you get to navigate through like the realtor side of it. I'm just telling you, I did these for a long time when there was no rules. And they were challenging, they were profitable. The rules set now, and how much of a discount is the bank going to give you in today's market? At best, a slight one. I just don't think they're worth it. And due to all the things I just said, just beware. I would go find something without a short sale because there's little to no money left in most of these that are on the market today that need to go. Now, what you could do is refer it to a realtor, and then you could get a marketing fee off of it. And you can make some money without any type of energy or like any type of effort. That's what I would do. Because they're not even 50-50. They're like 80% failure rate on top, even if you do all that stuff. So who's willing to work for free doing that? And then if you don't know what you're doing, it's probably even a higher rate of failure. So I wouldn't even mess with them. Like most people do not want to give their financial information. Like that's because a lot of people are lying when it comes to short sales. I've had doctors reach out to me like, I want to short sell this. I'm like, dude, you make a ton of money. I know, but I just don't want to pay for it anymore. That's not a short sale. It doesn't qualify.
All right. Aaron said, if you have a deal in Louisiana, I'm your guy. I don't have the biggest buyer, but I promise you a deal. We will get a buyer for it. He also said, speaking of that, Rick, I got another mobile home park, 20 lots right now, 25 acres. More to add on, 180K. Give me a call.
Okay.
I'll own a mobile home park. Let's do it.
Hey, Aaron, you got my DM. So Aaron will verify. I've talked to him multiple times on the phone. He's a great guy. He understands. He hustles out there, and he never surrenders and quits. So we almost did a great deal together. It just didn't work out. So drop me a DM, and I will reach out to you later today or tomorrow morning, Aaron.
Yeah, we'll see him next month too. He's coming to the event.
Good deals get phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
Bad deals get nothing.
So I'm going to say this pretty quick. If you need help finding buyers, freewholesaling.com. Simple as that. And I'm not saying to be mean, but like it's crazy people ask that when I say how many times you go to freewholesaling.com.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Learn the basics. And if you want to do the more advanced strategies, pick a Planet X Leads that has the disposition software. And you make it easier for you.
Yeah.
But like get some deals under your belt before you do that.
If you have to ask though how to find buyers, just go to freewholesaling.com.
Yeah,
Esteban, do you guys have a script for a newbie? Freewholesaling.com has all the scripts. Go through their 30 wholesaling challenge. Heck, watch my call. I'm going to post tomorrow. It's all there.
Consistency.
DeAndre, this is for you. Zach, what do I say when someone says I can't sell right now because I'm in probate? Do I just say I can speed up the process, and how do I explain that? So there's multiple ways to explain it. Your way of explaining it's great. My way is great. I'm a little more to the point than you. But I basically say, no, we can buy the house in a probate. Well, basically what we do is, depending on the state, obviously, we write the agreement and we bring that to a judge and we can make the process go faster. That's what I say.
Yeah, but like what you really want to do is, and I've talked to Andre before, is just kind of get an elevator pitch down. And the idea is to slightly solve their problem and create curiosity. Because if you go through like the long version of like how I explain it, number one, you'll lose them. And number two, they'll just do it without you. Yeah. It's just the truth. So I said, what if we could buy your house and actually buy it outside of the probate so you don't get stuck in that long, lengthy process? That's something you want to talk to me about. There's got to be a hook in a trade.
Yeah.
So many of you guys just give them what they want, and then they go to their lawyer or like a real estate agent and execute it without you. Am I holding back a little bit? But like, we're in the game of wholesaling. So I want to solve a problem. I have a specialty skill set. Guys, it took me 9-10 years to understand how to do it. And you get fast-tracked on it, DeAndre. So what you have to do is practice your pitch, especially when it comes to probates, because they're like, well, because here's the number one objection, and this is how I came up. The number one objection I got in probate is my lawyer told me I had to wait till the probate process is done before I do it. I'm like, damn, over and over. And what did I do? I went and talked to a title company. I went and talked to a real estate attorney. I talked to a probate attorney, and I sat down at the probate court and I talked to a probate judge. And I go, walk me through factually what they can do. And he's like, yeah, they can expedite the process by actually selling the asset and the probate stays open. I go, so they can get the house sold even before the probate's done? It said, yes. Once I knew I could legally and ethically do it, and I wasn't lying, I don't want anyone to lie, then I just came up with the marketing phrase, and that's how we get to this point. But don't give it to them. Just say, listen, what if I could show you how to sell your house before the probate process is complete? So that's something we can talk about. How do you do that? I go, well, let me come on over a show. Don't give it to them. Build it up. Nobody else can solve it for them. But DeAndre, this is the problem I kept over and over. I'm like, and I got frustrated, and I just went out and I spent months trying to tackle this problem. So understanding is build your elevator's pitch down to the point where you just, whenever it comes up. So if somebody calls me off of a letter or I'm cold calling on a probate, they're like, I got to wait. I'm like, really? What do you got to wait for? And just kind of go through that and then pique their curiosity and then try to use that as leverage to set up your appointment either virtually or locally. Do not give the house away. So once you understand that, and do not attack the lawyer because it doesn't work well, even though most of them are lying to them. And say, what if I could show you a way? Is that something we can work together on? Remember, you're offering a solution nobody else does. Every realtor, every lawyer told me that you can't do it. I'm telling you, 100% legally, you can do it.
Simple, easy as that. Lovenick's a good one. Is wholesale oversaturated now? Is there any more wholesalers than buyers? Love it. Yes, it is. You should quit. Or for us. Come on. How did that happen? There we go. Pop this out for a second. But I mean, I think that's kind of a ridiculous
First of all,
question.
the word saturated is like, what does it even mean? So most people come up with the word saturated because they hear it from others. They regurgitate it. They never really sit down and go, okay, what does saturated mean? Saturated is a self-induced comment that you've created artificially in your head, and you're already convincing yourself you can't do it because too many people are doing it. And guys, the wholesaling's been around forever, since this country's founded. When the settlers came over, I've proven it time and time again. People were flipping houses 250 years ago. I didn't invent it. Zach didn't invent it. Nobody on the internet you see today invented it. We've just perfected it, and we've done more advanced strategies. So is it more? Yeah, but listen, here's the problem. Give me 10 wholesalers. I'll show you 9 quitters.
Let's talk about making money quick. Okay, let's look at saturation. Okay, what's more saturated, wholesaling or being a realtor? Being a realtor by far.
Oh,
okay. Well, I'll just do drop shipping. You think that's saturated? Oh, I'll do Amazon FBA. That's more saturated. Day trading. Come on. Like, think of anything that is not saturated. Can somebody name me one? Like, that is it.
that's legal.
That's legal.
So saturation is a self-fulfilling thought that people use as an excuse up front. I'm not going to tell you you're going to wholesaling and you'll have no competition. You're the only one doing it. That's an outright lie. But there's oversaturated. How did I succeed? How did he succeed? How's all the people we work with succeed? It's like thousands and thousands. Here's the reality is, give me 10 people. I'll show you one badass worker, the one who wants it, that is going to take consistent, massive action every day. But then I get 9 others that have the exact same information, the same luxuries, and they don't succeed. Does that mean the market's saturated? No, they just don't want it bad enough. You got to really want this. But like, I could go along like any type of job. Like when there's one job opening, like 50 people apply for it. It's saturated in my words, but like, you know why the one person gets hired? Because they put the most effort in, they've proven their track history, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get that job done. And the other 49 interviewed weren't nearly as impressive. Guys, we have the Olympics every year.
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years, sorry. How in the heck does every 4 years there is some sort of record broken in the Olympics? How long the Olympics been going on?
1800s, and that was like
you would talk about saturated, and like the winner is like on like a relay race or like a swim race. The winner gets a gold medal and all the endorsements and millions of dollars for like 1/100th of a second. They just put in more reps, they put in more time, and they were just dead set on it. Wholesaling is no different. If you want the easy button in wholesaling, it ain't gonna happen. There's a million courses that will sell you the easy button, but that easy button's it's easy to get to your money, and it's gonna be brutally hard to get to a deal. And that's the truth. Me and Zach do it the opposite. We tell you all the ugly stuff up front, and we tell you the truth. It is you that makes the difference. Me and Zach will give you the best education for it. But at the end of the day, if you don't start taking the steps towards becoming a wholesaler, there's nothing me and Zach can do to like make you successful with a snap. If I could, you all would be. But think about this. If everybody was successful in wholesaling, where would we be? It is a survival of the fittest. End of story. Those that put through the work, and you'll see a lot of the gurus of wholesalers, they're all like looking for the scraps. They're looking for the coaching. I don't really have to wholesale. Let me be a transaction coordinator. Let me have a company that facilitates everyone's closing. Let me get you a transaction coordinator. Let me get you a VA company. Just wholesale, guys. All the other stuff is a distraction.
Yeah, I was told wholesaling is saturated in 2017. You were told it was wholesaling saturated 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's more wholesalers than ever. It's the truth. But there's more properties being built than ever, and the population keeps growing. So that's the funny part about it, right? So wholesaling is going to double the next 2 or 3 years with social media.
Uh-huh. You guys
So
see nothing
and
yet.
then you're going to be like, oh, I wish I go back to 2024.
It's like the UFC. You want to get in that cage, you got to fight. If you want to run around and run in circles, if I put 10 people in a UFC cage, one will fight, the other 9 will run for their life.
Oh yeah.
Fittingly so. But like, that's why I love the analogy with wholesaling. It's like a lot of people get in the ring, but nobody wants to fight. How do you fight? You got to fight and get deals done. How do you do it? By volume.
Exactly. So let's do some one-on-one, see what's going on with everyone. So Uwando, what's going on?
Cheers, Zach. Cheers, Rick. How's it going, guys?
Good,
I'm
man.
blessed.
How are you?
Cheers. I'm 100%. I spoke to Zach, I think, a month and a half back. So I'm the guy from Africa in a small country called Eswatini, the one that's
Oh yeah,
inside of
inside
South
of
Africa.
South Africa. Yep.
Cheers, man. So I took your advice. You told me to. So I couldn't get leads, government leads, because I'm not a citizen. So I ended up posting on your group and then found a couple of guys who gave me leads. So I've
There we
been
go.
cold calling. And then in the past, I think in the past 30 days, I've called about 2,000 people. And one thing that I've realized is so I've been getting leads, but there's a specific lead that I don't know how to deal with right now. So my main problem with this lead is okay, Zach, I had a problem because of my name and my accent. So when I was using my name, a lot of people were dropping. So I ended up using the name Daniel. So now I have a lead and now I don't know what to do with the contract. Should I write my name? Because I don't want to scare the seller away because I told him my name was Daniel. And then another thing is I do have a partner who's inside of Knoxville. So I don't know if I should use his name to get the deal. So I'm just confused in, in,
Use your
in that
name, man.
situation.
I mean, dude, use your name. Be proud of your name. Your name is not the issue. I promise you that. What does your
Oh,
name
okay.
mean anything in Zulu? Right? Is that what language is your name?
It's in Swati. So
Swat.
it's in Swati.
Okay.
It means expansion in the family because I'm the only boy in the family and I've got 3 sisters.
Beautiful.
I don't think your
Ten
name's.
Yeah.
I don't
10
think your name's.
sisters.
I
10
don't think.
sisters. Whoa.
What's that? Oh my god.
Be
He
proud of your
barely
name,
deals with
man.
one sister.
Dude, you got to be proud of your name, man.
But
You
like
gotta be
you
proud
gotta
of it.
understand, like my full name's Richard. People call me Ricky, people call me Rick. Some gurus like to try to call me something else because, but like that's like your name is like sometimes when it comes down to legal contracts, people are like nicknames. Some people use their middle name, so it's not like that big of a deal. And like, listen, you're no different than a lot of other people. You kind of use your American nickname just to get through, so you're not initially screened, and people make like instant judgment on you. So I don't think it's bad. Just say
It's not bad, no.
and here's what I say: my friends call me Daniel. Sometimes they call me Dan, but this is my legal name, and because we're doing a document, I'm going to put it on there. That's it. It's like real simple. Like you're
I
making
see.
it a bigger deal than it is. I'm okay with what you're doing because you learned through that. But like, how many people do you know that like aren't like some people are called CJ and their name's like, Chris or something like that. It's prevalent in the United States. People have nicknames till they turn blue. I'm sure it's no different in your country, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, dude, it's no deal at all, man. I mean, my name's Zach. It's not an English name, right? It's an English version of from the Bible, so the Hebrew, right? So like every name comes from a different language.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice.
I think it was named after what is it? He's the prophet, right? Zechariah. He's one of the prophet. Like it all comes from something, man. And I think Zechariah means God remembers in Hebrew. So like every name is just a different language with a meaning, and then they just use an English version of it, man. Same with I'm not gonna get into it, but like be proud of your name, dude.
Yeah.
Be proud of it, man.
You survived 10 sisters, dude. I'm sure you went through it, man. It's like, woo.
One's too much for me.
You see, you guys are giving me confidence to actually go on and then just try and see because now even with the deal that I have, I don't even know if it's a deal yet because so according to the seller and according to what cash buyers and what AI was saying, so properties around that area are selling for 300. The seller says it's selling for about 260. So he wants to take 180 for the property, but I know I can get him down to 160 or 150. He was open to negotiations. So, but my only problem that I had right now was just the name issue. So I have an appointment with him. So I'm going to talk to him tonight. And I just finished making quite a few phone calls right now. So I'm
So
just
why
going to
don't you
try and call
practice
him.
real
And
quick? I want to hear. I go, so
all right.
pretend I'm the seller. I go, hey, listen, Daniel, I'm looking at your name on the contract. Why is it different?
I completely understand what your concern is, yeah, Rick. So the thing is, Rick, I have quite a few friends. They call me Daniel, but my real name is actually Uyanda, and because it's legal document, I prefer to use my name. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And like I would turn Daniel into Dan. It's even easier and it's even more Americanized. And it's just like, but everybody, like I have a dozen friends that like have a different, they go by a different calling than what their legal name is. So it's very common. So just make it super simple, just like that, and you'll be fine. Like it's no big deal. They rather have the
All
truth.
right.
We can't lie to people at the end, like because that will kill your deal in the end. But just hey, listen, um, this is what my mom legally named me. I kind of downplay it. I go, but all my friends call me Dan or Daniel. So just
It's Rick or
Ah,
Richard or Rick, Zachary or Zach.
yeah. Everyone's got like a different. Some people use initials. It's common in the United States. Some people like use their middle name, so you can go anywhere
And
with
don't
it.
and do not use your accent as a problem, man. Don't even try. Okay,
I'm not,
I mean,
trust,
dude, Elon
yeah,
Musk is the
trust.
most richest man in the United States, and he is from Southern Africa. Now,
Yep.
he's probably
Yeah.
like from the Netherlands. His family, that's Dutch. I'm not getting the whole thing, but like people with accents from South Africa, like nobody cares in the United States. Like it's not even a
Yeah.
big deal, dude. So you're good to
Now,
go, man.
now I appreciate that, Zach, because one thing about the whole excuses, I don't want to make no excuse at all because obviously I understand that I'm not as privileged as a lot of people. And the last call with you, you really put another spark in me. So you really helped me out because I think I told you I only make like $150 a month, but I've got the hustle in me. I don't mind hustling. So immediately after work, I make cold calls, try and make about 200 a day, and yeah, and you really helped me out with just putting a little spark in me, so I really appreciate
Let's.
that from you,
I
man.
appreciate you, man. But let me stop you right there. And it's probably not good for me to say it, but like you are less fortunate than many others, but you are more fortunate than every single person in the graveyard right now. Just remember that.
Yeah.
So you are so blessed to be alive right now. You are so blessed to be able to eat all these things and breathe air that you have so much going for you, and you kind of have no choice. You're the only son out of 11 kids, so you got this right. You were a blessing probably from your mom to be the only son, so you got to take that and use that as motivation to keep going. And we're talking. I have had no problem with any words you say. Right? Like there's no problem with understanding you. Your accent's not even a question.
No.
So just get that out of the way. You're good to go, man.
Nah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for
Good to
that.
go, man.
Okay,
So
man.
with the all right, so with the deal, I should just do that. So I should not be concerned at all about my name, and then just try and see if I can close this.
It's in
You're
your
good to
head,
go,
not
man.
theirs.
It's all in your head.
Alrighty, thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Cheers,
Okay.
man.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks, man.
Same.
Appreciate it.
Love that. I love to see that. Uh, yeah, he's from Lesotho.
Yeah, he's on
Which
the other
is
side of the world. Like
Lesotho is a country inside of South Africa. That's how crazy it's in the mountains. It's a pretty cool place.
that's awesome. Man.
But guys, South Africa, we've had so many people do well there. He's in Lesotho, which is different. But you know why people in South Africa do so well wholesaling? Because they speak English.
Yeah.
They speak it. Now, that's they're not their primary language, right? But English is pretty much like most people in South Africa can speak some English, right? And they're very, very smart, right? Intelligence is inheritable in different cultures and countries. South Africa is one of the smartest people. Nigeria, they speak English and they have one of the highest IQs in the world. Like Africa is like in the next 10, 15 years, it's crazy. Like Africa, Nigeria has like 260 million people. That's like 70% of the population in the United States, and they all speak English, and they're all stupid smart.
Crazy.
And
smart.
it's a developed country. And we have a lot of people from Nigeria following us doing well wholesaling. Same thing, South Africa, right? Guys, you can be anywhere in the world and you can make a change. That's how powerful this business is, that you can go out here and become successful. I just love seeing that, because what's your excuse? Like, what is your excuse why you can't become successful? That's it. And so, guys, if you want to hop on and learn wholesaling for free, make sure you go to freewholesaling.com. If you want to go join us at our live event, go to Flip Alert Plus. You have till the 30th, and submit your ticket when you get inside, and we'll see you soon. Guys, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. And we're going to post that cold call tomorrow. Be fun. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.